Okay, the next shape we're doing area of is circles. So we're doing area and perimeter. Now we know in circles that perimeter has like a different word for circles. So circumference is length around the outside of the circle, which that is like perimeter. Okay, so we know, oh, around the can I do this? Around the outside, that's the circumference. Okay, we know that in a circle, we know the point in the middle to the edge. That's the radius. Hopefully we know that, but just in case we don't, reminder. So unlike when we were doing the other shapes and we said, oh, perimeter, you just add the sides. There isn't really a formula for that. There is a formula for circumference, and the formula is C equals 2 pi r. So we know that r, that's the radius. Okay, 2 is always there. Pi, we're going to use the special pi button. We know that it's about 3.14 ... but there is a pi button on our calculator, so let's go ahead and look at that right now. In your calculator, we're going to be using the pi button. We're not going to type 3.14. Your pi button is right down there. So anytime you need it in your, anytime you're supposed to type it in, you're just going to push the button and boom, it shows up. Great. So that's our formula for circumference. For area, again, we know area, there is going to be a formula. We know we still need the radius for area, and we know that area is supposed to be the inside of the circle, so that would be the space in here is the area. Okay, circumference is the outside, area is on the inside. So our formula for area is A equals pi r squared, where r is still the radius. And again, this is still pi. So here we go. All right, so on the circle, we're going to find the area and circumference of the circle below, round to the nearest tenth. We know rounding to the nearest tenth, that means decimals. Okay. All right, so we're going to do area first, so I'm going to write down my area formula is pi r squared. What is my radius in this circle? I'm going to label it, it's 6. Great, so I'm just going to plug in 6 in for r, so pi is still there. We're going to do 6 in parentheses squared. And then we're going to type in the calculator. Type in Desmos. Okay, so we're going to Desmos and we're doing, let's clear. So we're just pushing, I'm typing it just like it looks. So pi and then parentheses 6 parentheses squared. Bam, 113.09. So we're going to write that down. 113.09. 0.09. So to the nearest tenth, we look at the 9. Does it make 0 bigger or keep it the same? It makes it bigger. So our final area is 113.1. Number bigger than 0 is 1. So this is our area. Great. For circumference, we're going to write down our circumference formula. So C equals 2 pi r. Again, r is still 6, so we plug it in right there. So we have 2 pi times 6. We type all of it in Desmos. Type in Desmos. Great, let's type it. I'm typing it just like it looks. So here we go. Enter. So we have 2 pi parentheses 6, close parentheses. We get 37.699. So we're going to write that down. And I already forgot what it was. 37.69. Here we go. 37.69. So we're rounding. Does 9 make 6 bigger or keep it the same? Makes it bigger by 1 number. Makes the 6 bigger by 1 number. So that means final answer is 37. 1 number bigger than 6 is 7. And that's my circumference. Okay? Pretty easy. Round to the nearest. You just type everything in the calculator. Okay, on number 2, we're doing area and circumference in terms of pi, which that means there's no decimals in these answers. Well, how is that possible? Well, I'll show you. So it says find the area and circumference of the circle. So here we go. We're going to do area first, which is the formula pi r squared. What's our r this time? What's our radius? Is 3. So we're going to plug that in. Pi times 3 squared. So when it says in terms of pi, that means do not type pi in Desmos. You type everything else in, but you don't type pi. So all we should be typing is 3 squared. Okay, here we go. So skip the pi, just 3 squared is 9. Okay, great. And so we have 9, and we write pi in our answer. So that means our area equals 9 pi. Okay? So I just type the number parts, I don't type pi. Okay, for circumference, we're going to do the same thing. So writing down our formula, 2 pi r. We're plugging in our radius, so 2 pi times 3. Again, I am not typing pi in. So what am I typing in? Well, if I'm not typing pi, that means I'm typing 2 times 3. So let's do it. So we're typing 2 parentheses 3 parentheses is 6. Okay, great. So then this is 6. I still write pi in my answer. Pi. And that's it. When you go to type these in formative, there is a pi button. If you check informative, you press the little keyboard, pi is there. So make sure you would type just like 6 and then you would press the pi button, no spaces. Okay, now we gotta talk about working backwards. So this time they're giving me the area is 49 pi. What is the radius? So since we're talking about area, I'm gonna write down the area. That's not blue. The area formula. Why are you not clicking the one I want? Area. So A equals pi r squared. Okay, great. They told me the area is 49. So I'm going to put, well, 49 pi. So I'm going to put 49 pi where A is. 49 pi equals. Now I'm supposed to be figuring out what the radius is. So I'm going to leave that as r. So the first step, we got to move pi. So how do I move this pi to the other side? We divide by pi. Divide by pi. This goes away. We type this in. What do you mean we type it in? You type it just how it looks. So we're doing 49 pi divided by pi is 49, which makes sense. Like these would cancel out and we'd just be left with 49 equals r squared. We're not done because that's r squared, not just the radius. So what do I do to get rid of that? Square root. Square root. So we r equals, we're going to type square root of 49 in the calculator. So square root 49 is 7. So that means my radius is 7. Happy times for me. Okay, one more example. So working backwards from circumference, because it is a different formula. So if the circumference of a circle is 64.2 inches, what is the radius of the circle round to the nearest tenth? So this time they told me circumference, so I'm going to write down my circumference formula, 2 pi r. 64.2, that was my circumference, so I'm going to put that where C is, 64.2. I'm supposed to be solving for r. How do I solve for r? Well, I need to get rid of the 2 and the pi. I'm going to do that all at once by dividing by 2 pi. Dividing by 2 pi. That cancels out this side. This side, we got to type that in the calculator. So we're making sure that 2 and pi are both on the bottom of our fraction. So we have 64.2 divided by 2 pi. We got 10.21. So 10.21. It's a round to the nearest tenth. I mean, oh, does the 1 make 2 bigger or keep it the same? It keeps it the same. So final answer is 10.2. Okay. Make sure you're using the formula they're asking. If it says circumference, use 2 pi r. If it says area, use pi r squared. If you have any questions, make sure you send me a message. Otherwise, go ahead and get started on the formative.